tonight if you're there. Well, this is the part 2 of the night of my live stream. We stopped at 8:30 because of my son's band performance, and I'm back like promised, and everyone seemed to want to kind of hang out, so here I am. If you're out there and you want to join, jump right on in. If you're not, that's cool. I don't have to be on here for any length of time. Just wanted to be here to kind of hang out. I know we ended it early tonight, so I'm here for anybody who's up. Hey, Addicted to Blades, man, what's up? What's up, Rob's Nerdy Knives? What's up, Addicted to Blades, man? How are you? I'm going to scratch my back real quick. Let me show you. Let me show you the most awesome back scratcher that I have ever had in my life. It's a freaking rake. It's a rake. Oh, it's so good. You stick that underneath your shirt, and boy, let me tell you, you get any scratch. Watch this. Watch. I'm going to scratch the top of my shoulder right up here. Let's see if you can see that. You see it sticking up? Wait, hold on. Can I get that on the camera? It looks like, it looks like an alien popping out my back, doesn't it? Oh, man. We were outside, and it was a little cold, and I think the bugs were around, so it made me all itchy. It was probably all in my head, but it was fun. It was fun. It was an amazing performance. So Michael Upchurch, what's up, man? Jay Corscadden, what's up? How are you tonight? Yeah, I stopped. Sorry, I stopped at 8:30 because my son had a band performance. I wanted to be there. It's his senior year. It's his last one on the field. It was kind of special, and it'll probably be happening with my other son with soccer and then graduation events and stuff. So it'll kind of happen. This is their senior year, so it's important, right? Michael Upchurch, what's up, everyone? No, not much, man. I'm back. I'm here, just chatting and hanging out. Addicted to Blades, laughing about that. Yeah, I mean, you like my back scratcher? That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little nuts. So, but it's nice. It works, especially when your back's a little scratchy. And my wife, she used to get me these little retractable back scratchers, and I would break them. So she finally got me that, and it's like a little miniature rake or something like that. Splitting Slices. Hi, Rob's Nerdy Knives. I missed earlier live. Oh, well, I didn't feel so bad. You should go to that. You should go to that stuff. Well, I did. I went, and it was fun. It was a blast. I was glad I was there. I'll have to post the link of the 2 band performances they did in the area. Kind of get an idea how good they are. I mean, they do a version of 9 Inch Nails of Hurt, which is the same version that Johnny Cash does, the Hurt version, but the 9 Inch Nail has more harmony in it, and they do that, and it's really, really good. It's stinking good. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Hey, I picked up David. Hello, David. How's it going? Just picked up an XM18 for $280. Wow. What? Now I have to ask, was it a little used? I mean, $285. There's one or two things, right? It's either, sorry, I have to clean my glasses because we're outside and stuff. I have to ask, was it either like a well-used knife still as a used XM18, unless it's totally busted, which I don't doubt it is, still a great price. But if it wasn't, it almost makes me wonder, is it a little warm? Because that's a good price, man. That is a good price, dude. That's like insanely good. I got a chance to go to my grandson's Tennessee High School cross-country state finals. He finished 4th, and the team came in 3rd. Glad we could make it. Oh, that's awesome. Congrats to him. That's super cool, man. Hey, Ed, what's up, man? How are you doing this evening? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Splitting Slices this past weekend. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, so Wednesday is the big day for that. And then my other son, he starts soccer. I'm super excited about his soccer season this year. So we'll see what happens there. Got a great new coach and a lot of talent. So yeah, I am late, but not absent-minded, Milton. No, not at all, man. Appreciate you being here. Evening back at you. Yeah, we're just picking up part 2. This is Rob's Nerdy Nights, Nerdy Knives After Dark. I guess that's what we decided to come up with. It was a term I came up before when I had a late night stream like this. And I figured I'd do a little part 2. A lot of people wanted to hang out and just kind of talk knives and chat and stuff. So here we are. David, slightly used. Owner says he has some snail trails and scratches but it's perfect. Bought it on BladeBinge, so it's not sketched out. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Even with snail trails for $285, that's a great deal. That's a stinking incredible deal because That means you can use it and abuse it, and which I think an XM18, just like a McNeese, is meant for, right? I mean, some people will have them as grails, and that's fine. You want to make it a grail? Keep it as a grail. You know, a safe queen, whatever. But I like to use it. Like, I don't know if you know, here's my McNeese. This one I have beaten and abused a lot. I don't know if you can tell, but I have used it to cut down giant sunflower trees. I call them sunflower trees when they're 8-9 feet tall and their stalks are about that thick, and you got to chop into it like an axe. Yeah. So this knife, it's my nicest hard use knife I have, and I enjoy that. I even told Jonathan that, and he thought it was awesome. So I really do enjoy hard using this one. The other one that I really hard use are my TRM knives. Yeah. So where's my? Do I have my TRM? It's got to be here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right here. Yeah. So here's the Neutron. These I like to hard use as well. These are great for hard use. So I do enjoy using these guys because they can take it. So that's really nice. Now, some of these other knives, obviously, they're not going to be hard use. I will have a backup knife with them. Like, this is not going to be a hard use, my Skiff. Even though I feel like this one really could be a hard use knife. Because if you look at this, you can choke up and really get a nice grip. And it really works well. It's beautiful swedge, nice hollow grind. Man, this is just meant to be, I don't know, maybe someday. Then you got the button lock. I feel like this one could be a hard use because it's crazy, crazy slicey. Crazy, crazy slicey with this incredible grind. So, yeah. I like my XM18. I do use that one quite a bit too. Now, it was working finish, and you can see it it's been quite a bit used and stuff, which, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's what an XM18 is supposed to be. It's supposed to be meant to be used, right? So, yeah, I'm happy about that. Good find, man. Absolutely a great find. Really is. Congrats. Yeah, so it's been fun. It's a fun evening. What about you guys? What y'all been carrying this week? Anything cool? Carrying any nice knives? Anything in your repertoire? Any new acquisitions? Anything that you maybe have made new again because you did something to it? New scale or something like that? Sorry, that's my charger. I don't know why my charger was up here. I was kind of curious. Oh man, look at that. You didn't post all my stuff here. All right, I like it. Let me see here. Let me try to make sure it's posting all the different things. Oh my gosh, look at that. A few things didn't post. All right. I'm late but not absent. Evening, David, slightly used. I like it. Some good deals out there these days. Yeah, for sure. Still waiting for the Rask to pop up. Yeah, that I saw them. I definitely saw some Rask. Right now, there's a pretty decent deal on a Oz, on a Rosie. And if the finish, you don't like the finish, you can easily get that done by a modder to make it look exactly like you want. So, David's, it's a battle bronze finish, but for the price, I wouldn't care either way. I didn't think I would own a Hinderer in the first place. Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible deal, dude. That's an incredible deal. I tell you, people, if you look hard enough, you wait long enough, you're patient enough, you can find some really incredible stuff out there. How do you like the Lamia? I really do like the Lamia. Yeah, I think it's a really fantastic. It's a very fidgety, very, very well-made knife. I love everything about it. So fidgety, so comfortable, ergonomic-wise, action-wise, everything is fantastic. Yeah, to me, this is just a really, really nice knife. Now, the only thing I wish he had done, I wish he'd put a little jimping up here, because then you can have it a front flipper, right? I mean, that could have been that. Because like my Proteon, look at this. I mean, just put a little flipper right there and right up here. Oops, let me do it again. It does become a front flipper, and quite works not badly at all. If you get the nice little spot there, works pretty decently as a front flipper, which is kind of like along the Shaman lines, right? You know? So I like that. David, I have to sell my ZT 0393 GLF Hinderer Eclipse made by ZT. Oh, cool. But I'll just buy an actual Eclipse in the future. There you go. Now, aren't those the ones that are kind of in demand and special and rare? So doesn't that kind of, don't they go for a bit of money? I mean, unless yours is like totally beat up or something, but doesn't that go for a little bit of money? I thought. You might want to check the pricing out there on there before you put it up there. Make sure you get a fair price for it, right? Got a clip Point 8020S with original goat scales. Oh, nice. Nice. Ed. Yeah, mine is over here. I've got the shark foot. This is the full flat grind with the original goat scales as well, and the Lynch clip. And of course I put the skiffs on there, the 2mm skiffs on there. Now this is the big giant full flat grind shark's foot. Man, this 20 CV blade steel, it's crazy sharp, and it comes to a really nice edge. Really, really dig this one. Really nice. And I don't mind the no thumb studs. To me, I really enjoy that. So I agree with you. It's awesome. Awesome. Good find, man. Love the Kaiser. The titanium October I bought off of Loot. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's the full October, right? Because I think I gave away a mini October in one of the giveaways, if I'm not mistaken. Derek, yo, what's up, man? Derek, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. We're doing a little Rob's Nerdy Nights. Nerdy Knives After Dark, kind of a little part 2 here tonight, because I left for my son's performance in band. I was super excited to go to that. My wife made a good call for me to be there, and I'm glad I did. I don't regret it at all. And, you know, most people were pretty understanding, so hopefully you guys are too. But I'm glad we can have a little bit of time, at least hang out for an hour, talk knives or something, right? Thoughts on the Wii Tyro Snex coming out? Jay Korskaden. You know, I'm not a Snex fan. I'm not. Just like I'm not the Shark Cub fan. And I'll tell you why I'm not a Shark Cub fan. And really why I'm not a Snex fan. Like, just like I didn't mind the Chupacabra by Tactile Knife Company. I think it's great. I just wish it had better jimping and more access, right? So here's the Shark Lock. I get enough access with it wide enough. It doesn't dig in. I have good access to this, and that works, right? On my, let me get this one over here. Oh, my lid almost hit me. So here's my 80-20. Here's the 80-20 and the 3V Tonto. This is also the original goat scales, right? It's a little tight up there, right? It gets a little tight sometimes, and I got big old giant meaty fingers. You can see that. This is a big, thick knife, but I cover that entire thing up with my giant finger, right? So I don't have little thin, petite fingers. And so after a while, that kind of digs in, and that's kind of comfortable. That's why I really, really like the Rockscale design. Look how there's a little more cut back there. So when I get in there, it's just more axis. It's more comfortable. I can get the meat of my finger in there, and I'm not feeling like I'm using barely my tip on there. The Shark Cub, it's really thin, and it's uncomfortable. And I find the Snex, because there's no jimping of any kind, I'm not a fan of it. So, I mean, I think it's a cool design. It's just not my cup of tea. So the Shark Cub is, I bought it and I sold it. And now I've heard some people will actually cut the spring, make it a little not as stiff. Maybe that's something to consider in the future. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. The MSRP always is always out of whack. Worth $360, but you can find them for $250 on BladeBinge. Mine is slightly used, but I have an MXG deep carry clip and sharp pressed knives, my Carta scales. Oh, that's cool. Milton told me to come back, Mr. Eddie. Well, thanks, Mr. Eddie. Appreciate you being back here. And again, yeah, thank you for your service, especially from earlier. I did mean that. I really do appreciate it. I haven't tried the Snex Mini Buster. Some say it is one and done knife. So my brother, he's a Master Guns in the Marine Corps, retired after 29 years, and he still works for the Marine Corps, about to retire a second time from the Marine Corps. He works in Camp Lejeune right now. Now he works in HR and the admin or whatever, but he was a perfect marksman in pistol and rifle, and he has a black belt 2nd degree. So, you don't want to mess with that office, because, he knows what he's doing. He's been deployed a few times. So, but he's also one of those guys that's super calm, super quiet, and everything. But just don't tick him off. So, and that's what I find. People who really, especially like people in the military and stuff like that who are strong, they don't have to be loud. They just, they'll get the stuff done. They'll take care of business, right? And that's what you do. And I appreciate that. So, Mr. Rob convinced me, like, oh boy, we're live tonight. Yeah, Days D, we were live earlier, but I left because of my son's performance, which was amazing. Simply amazing. I'm so excited for Wednesday. I'm just super excited. B Devious, I'm back also, man. Appreciate you being back. Thank you so much. J. Corscad, and I have the Clydesdale on the way. I bought off of Tim School of Fish. Oh, very cool. Very cool. That sounds really nice. Every week there's a new knife I want. Damascus Militar is dropping and is gorgeous. What? What? Hold on. You just rocked my world here. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, what are we doing? Why is it picking this up over here? Ah, it's doing the stupid thing. Hold on. Go back over here. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna have to do thing over here. Let's see if I can pull this. Pull that over here. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. I might have to close this and reopen it. Sometimes it doesn't know how to. It's stuck over there. It's stuck on my chat thing, which means I have to close it and reopen it. That's such a pain. Such a pain. All right, hold on. Let me close all these real quick. I'm going to close this real quick. I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to reopen this over here. Here we go. Here we go. Open this up. Open that. Man, this is, but I still want, I need to go see what we're looking at. I got to go see that. I got to know where you found it. I got to find out. That's this, you're kind of blowing my mind a little bit here, to say the least. All right, let's do that. Okay. Let's see if that works over there. Let me go. Militar, Kaiser, Militar, Damascus. I just want to see if the search works. Yes. All right. Good. We're back over here. Good. Hold on. Wow, what is this? S45 VM blade steel. What are we? M390. Okay. Polished DLC code. Oh. Why would you tell me about that? Why would you tell me about that? No. I feel like the call's like, you must buy me. You must buy me. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm just excited to see that. Let me go back over here. I'm going to put this back so I can get the comments to pop up real quick. All right, there we go. And then let's see here. Rob, would you just rather have a mini FSDI for your fancy inlay or just a PJ? Or just a PJ for EDC? What's a PJ? I will tell you, I like the Militar. I think it's Kaiser's best knife out there. It is really a phenomenal knife. It's executed really, really well. I'm glad that they're doing the budgets, but it totally works as a really premium, and it's so underpriced. It is so freaking underpriced. I mean, I don't know how they're selling it for what they're selling it for. I think it's phenomenal. But why a black blade? I'm over black blades. Well, Jay Corscat, it's not just a black blade, it's a DLC, man. Like my DLC over here. So here's my DLC, which is a little bit different than just a regular black blade. It's just gorgeous, right? So I enjoy that. I'm not into the stonewash necessarily. Like even the Spyderco DLC, I wish it was a little polished, but it's not bad. But I like Spyderco DLC, especially on certain steels that I have it on, right? I think it's pretty cool. But overall, you know, that's why I like DLC, like on crew wear and things like that, M4. But I like it, you know? You don't have to like it, but I do. Not a fan of the hype behind the Militar, but those inlays are actually kind of magical looking. You know, I wasn't a big, I mean, I never saw the hype. I just handled the blade and I thought, dang, it is so fidgety. I can literally fidget with this knife all day long. You put skiffs in it and it's buttery smooth. It is actually even crazy better. And now I've tuned it, so I don't know if you know, but I have it tuned where I can literally have a controlled drop shut on this thing, right? So just beautifully buttery smooth on this knife. And I happen to really like this particular inlay. It looks like a guy dancing sort of, but it looks really great in the sun. It's the one camo carbon inlay that I really, really dig the most. I think it's just really, really nice. This works. It is comfortable. That's why I say it's the best knife that they have out there. I really, really like it. But you know, I learned that. Hey, is this shipping? Hey, is this happening? Yeah, it is happening. Legion Steel Knives. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining. Tom Guillaume. PJ is Plain Jane. So what Plain Jane are we talking about? I must have missed the conversation. I'm sorry. I also need convincing on the Proteon. Well, you know, be devious. I can just tell you that. I mean, I don't want to convince anybody for something they don't want, right? If you like the look at it, if you like the aesthetic, I'd say if you're wondering, is it as good as it looks? If you like the looks and everything, I'd say, yeah, it's even better. It's beautiful. It is definitely grail status, right? So Princeton, who does a lot of the stuff here, he's phenomenal. I really like his stuff. So need to head out to finish my workout. David, LOL. See y'all in some other time. God bless. Well, hey, have a great night and appreciate you being here. Inlays knives usually pressed fitted. There's no screws. Well, the good news is on this one right here, you'll notice these are screws. All the whole thing about the Militas is I could replace these inlays. Like I would love to put some Damascus or maybe some fat carbon or some other ones on there. At some point you can totally replace these. And I think there'd be a third party market. Now, the thing about Kaiser is that they sometimes will production a knife out and then it's gone, right? They don't know how to have this long, this is one of those bread and butter knives that could be around for a few years if they market it right and they play it right. This is one of those knives you could keep selling for, I'd say at least 2-3 years, and then you can make variants and they could still keep selling after that. I think it's one of those knives. So personally, I hope they do that. But I think it's cool. I definitely think it's cool. If you wanted a little extra, it's pretty nice. I really like the black DLC. You know, I think it's cool. If I had not gotten that, that would probably be the one I'd get. But I'm happy with what I have. So, anyways, is Rob back or am I imagining things? Laid off Pete, you're imagining. It's not me. I'm a ghost. I'm a Fig Newton of your imagination. You like that, Fig Newton? Thank you for your service, Mr. Eddie Mind of Milton. Absolutely. And Mr. Eddie Mind of Milton wishes you a happy birthday. I'm sure at least today one time. Has he wished it to you yet? I'm waiting for it. I mean, if we celebrated every birthday you had, I think Mind of Milton, I think you'd be what, 200 years old now. So anyways, you're welcome for my service, Mind of Milton. I thought I was doing a playback. LOL. There you go. Popping in for just a moment to say hi to y'all. Tom Gilman, appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for popping in. We all know what Rob is buying tonight. Maybe. I've got a few things in the hopper that I think my purchasing, I'm trying to hold back for year end because there might be some things popping out, but I got some big things in the hopper coming my way. So, oh, don't cut yourself, man. Appreciate you being here. Thanks. Mr. Eddie Pajamas. I am back. Better than ever. Part 2. Watch out. PJ's Plain Jane. Also, it's limited and will be numbered with a birthday card. Okay. Is that what it says right here? Limited. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. If you really like that Damascus, it's cool. I will tell you that you can definitely tell there's different levels of Damascus. I mean, so you can't, I don't know if you can see this really well with the milling, because the milling is ridiculous. It's absolutely stunning how well Craig did the milling on this. But if you get the right angle, if you just get the right angle, you can see the beautiful Damascus pattern on there. You just have to get the right angle to see it. And the right light. I know I did. Yeah, I know I had a few shots where it just really popped. Oh, it's hard to do with all the background. I'm gonna have to move the knives to get to it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty satisfied with this, and I gotta tell you, I feel pretty satisfied with that. I did ask Princeton if he's ever going to do Timascus backspaces, because that would be the only other thing I'd add. But I'd have to send in the knife, and he'd have to like custom fit it, which, you know, I may ask him about it. I don't know. It seemed like it would be nice to do. So that I might do. So there you go. That might be the little goofy go nuts things I might consider entertaining. They need a Warney sheepsfoot Militaw. Jay Corscat, I believe that's coming. I'm pretty sure that's coming. I remember, what's his name from Kaiser_EDC? Jeremy was saying that I believe that's in the works, definitely being talked about. Rob, what is the process of turning it into a control drop shut? Does it have a noticeable effect on the detent? Hey, MPG EDC, hello. What's going on? Appreciate you being here. Splitting Slices, happy Veterans Day, saying hello to everyone. So real quick, Tom Guillaume, let me answer that. For me, you know, it's something I've learned over the years. It's what I enjoy in my knives. My knife here has a little, I need to clean that off. Obviously, I've used this knife, but for me, there's a combination of things that I do. First, I think what really allows you to do that well is a nice set of caged bearings. And if your caged bearings aren't perfectly super tight tolerances, then it'll be always challenging, right? And so that's why I do like skiffs. And I'm not trying to sell you on skiffs, because don't buy skiffs. It doesn't matter, right? It's your call. I like skiffs. I'm going to keep using them. I'm going to keep buying them because I like them, right? But they do allow me to do that. Like this Koenig used to be crazy drop shut. And so then I got it to the point where it's a combination of how strong the detent, the lock bar is for the drop, right? And getting that nice click and nice, be able to pop it and everything. But then also the tightness of the pivot. So those two work together is where I find that happy medium. And I don't know, it just, I kind of feel where it is. And I tend to be able to find that on almost most knives, right? I don't know if that's normal and everybody just does that, or if that's kind of weird that I do it. Kind of like my wife says, I have a superpower. I can hang up any painting or any picture and it's absolutely perfectly leveled. I can look at it and can tell you if it's not leveled. It's a weird thing. And we've done it over the years for 27 years, and we'll get a level out. And every time I say that's not level, and she'll say, yep, it's not level. And we'll get a level out. And I say, well, it's perfectly balanced. She's just like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, she'll get a level out and it's perfectly balanced. I don't know. I can just see that. I kind of feel that with the knives, right? And sometimes it takes a little bit of work. Sometimes it's all matter of how the knife, like this one already came in perfectly, like it was. I mean, it was already ready. This is exactly what I attempt to get in knives. And even the Lamia came like that, and it pretty much comes like that as well. Now it's getting there. When it's warmer and the oil, the viscosity is a little lower, it's right there. Like this, I finally got this one to where I wanted it. So this one now has that really controlled drop shut. And you can see it where once it gets past the lock bar, this is where I'm trying to get over that lock bar. Once you get past that, then it just kind of control shot. It's not guillotine. It's not like where it closes really fast like that. And so to me, that's where I find that, right? So, oops, don't put your hand on the lock bar. That always makes it a little difficult, but that is always nice. And I did it the same for the brown knives, because this one right here came in, and this one was very drop shutty. You had to shake it to drop it. And so putting the skiffs in, I didn't tune anything on the lock bar in this one. It was just a matter of how I tighten the pivot. And then I use Loctite. Once I figure out exactly where I need to be Loctite, then you let the Loctite sit for 24 hours. Make sure, don't oil it super crazy before you put Loctite on there. You don't want the oil to get in there and break up the Loctite. So let the Loctite set, let it set for at least 24 hours. Be patient. It's worth it. It really is. And then you have it really solid in there. And then you get that really nice control drop shut. Now, it could easily be misconstrued as a guillotine if you do a little flick, if you're used to always doing that. But for me, it's like, I get that really control shut. Like here, this one, Holt Blade Works was notorious for the guillotine drop shut. And I was just so excited to be able to get that off my Holt Blade Works. Now I know Joe would probably have a cow because one, I don't have the detent so crisp. He likes a super, 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 super lefty EDC crisp detent, which is fine if that's what you like. I don't mind that. I still have a beautifully crisp detent here. I just don't like it to the point where my finger hurts after a while, right? Especially when it's a little flipper like this and I've got to get my big old meaty finger totally covers it up. But tighten it just perfectly. Now it just has that nice controlled drop shot. So it took a while. I got it here on the car as well. You can see that. And it's very buttery. People will say, well, you just loot. You know, the thing about skiffs, like you can do that with any knife. Yeah, you probably can, but it never feels the same. There's a difference when you feel like it's smooth and glassy and buttery. Here, let me ask you this. If you've had a Chris Reeve knife and you've used their washers and you know how buttery Numnumzon or Sabenza or, you know, any of those knives can feel when they open and close. It's very smooth, very buttery. It's like gloss. It's like glassy feel, right? It's very different than the Spyderco. Very different than any of the other phosphor bronze washers, right? It's very unique. That's a very much has to do with the perfect CNC, tight tolerances on the washers, making sure the scales are perfectly tight, the steel is perfect. I mean, all that has to be perfectly level. There can't be one that's a little thicker than the other. That's what gives you that, you know, speed up, slow down, drop shut kind of thing. And when it's all totally controlled, it's because your milling tolerances are so tight. So I don't know. Skiffs allow me to do that. And I really do. It's easier to do on a nicer knife that's milled really well. I will admit that. But every once in a while, you find a knife that's not a super expensive knife and you can actually get that to work like that. I like that. So to me, that's worth it. I think I got the Eclipse kind of close to it. But I think it's now a little, yeah. It feels almost drop shot, but it's not. Yeah, so it doesn't, you can see it closes, but it's not guillotine. It's not like I drop it and then I move. Yeah, it doesn't, like a guillotine would normally do that. I mean, it would just, you move your hand and it would go down so fast, right? So I don't know. That's what I do. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm blowing sunshine up your nose or whatever. But there you go. That's what I do. All right, Rob, have you handled a Brown Knives LHC-X? I have not. Is that thin one? I think I know what you're talking about. Let's look. Brown Knives. I think I've saw it. It's not a new one. I think it's an older model, right? It's one of his first ones, if I'm not mistaken. Unless this is a brand new model that I don't know anything about. Where is there it goes. LHC-X knife. All right, come on. Show me the money. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So I've seen that. I don't know how old is that? Is that an older knife? When did he make these? It doesn't have the date on there, does it? No. Cortex. Oh, is this a newer knife? Interesting. Huh. Do you have one of these? I like the blade on the Carbon Mars Militaw coming out. Yeah, that's cool. It's like a lighter DLC, isn't it? It's kind of like a light gray DLC, it seems like. Not a super dark, but still cool. Meredith, how are you doing this evening? Anything exciting going on there with you? Hey, Chef Rocky, man, what's up, man? Love to you and yours. Sup, suckers, man? What's up back to you, man? How are you this evening? Appreciate you joining. Yeah, we're doing part 2. We're doing Rob's Nerdy Nights. Nerdy, what am I calling this? I have a name for it. I created this because actually I've done this one before. What am I calling it? Nerdy Knives After Dark. Yeah, so this is Nerdy Knives After Dark. Some of you guys may have remembered when we did this one last, we came up with the name and I decided to keep it. So I thought it was cool. Your brown is milling pattern number 4, I think. Yep, it is. Yep, that sounds correct. Favorite pattern is milling number 1 for brown knives. Oh, okay. Yep. So what is the diamond texture? I forget what this one is. I don't remember what that one is. I really like the diamond texture of this one. I really like the high polish on this one. This one's just really nice. And it's amazing how much thinner the Cortex XL is than the FSD. FSD is a chunky boy. It's got some weight to it. It feels beefy. Feels like it could do some work, right? And then it's just nice up here. You can easily flip it and everything, right? You can actually do the one-handed flip and everything, which is, I think, is cool. And then, of course, you can do the thumb flick, and you can do the finger flick, which this just has so much. You can do the hidden flip. This is just like the fidgety factor of this one is just the most insane fidget factor of all knives I've had so far. Levi Weaver, sorry, just got here. How'd your son do? He did really well. Here, let me, you know what? If you're interested, if anybody cares, let me see if I have it. I'm going to find the link for you. Let me see if I can find the links, and I'll share them with you. Give me just a second. If you want. It's to his band performance. Come on. There we are. All right, so I'll give you the prelims. We'll copy that. I'll actually go to the live stream on my phone and share it with you. Make sure the volume is off. Okay. So this is the prelim right here. And then this is the finals. If you want to go check a look at it, it's a YouTube video. You can check it out later if you want. I just can't play it because of the copyright. It's all the music. I'll get copyright struck for that. But there you go. Doing a lot better. Been sick for over a week. Man, you've been sick for a week, Meredith? I'm sorry. Hopefully you're feeling better. Levi Weaver, hi. Appreciate you being here. MPGDC, did you see the tiny, did you see how tiny my new nephew, yes, I do like, my wife has that. She has that on her keychain. We were talking about that. I meant to tell you that. She actually has that on her keychain. It's one of her favorite knives. She uses it all the time in her office. She opens so many boxes and everything. She's an office manager, so she uses it all the time. All right, guys and dolls, got to hit the hay, man. Split and Slices, appreciate it. Build the cabinets. Thanks, Rob. Bye, all, man. Appreciate you being here. Thanks, Split and Slices, for being here tonight. Have a great evening. Remember, members, I'm going to have that members video coming out. So I don't know if it's tonight, depending on how late we stay here. I'll get that video together for the members giveaway, and you'll be able to enter for that. All right. M. Houston, B. Devious saying, I went with #1 on my Cortex XL pre-order. Patiently waiting. Will probably be the crown jewel in my collection. Very, very cool. There's an Uldanov custom like yours to the Arius for sale on Blade. I saw that, and it's a really crazy price too. It is a really good price. Here, let me let's go over there real quick. I feel like I totally missed. I want to go back to that knife real quick. Mr. Eddie, that knife, the brown knives, the other one that you just showed with me, is that something new or is that an older knife? I'm just kind of curious. All right, so let's go to BladeBinge. All right, so I'm gonna copy that. So if you want to help the channel, this is the Rob's Nerdy Knives. Link for that, for a referral if you want to use it, but this is where I go if you happen to buy a BladeBinge knife. So let's find it. The Uldanov. I like the old Uldanov. Uldanov. Hopefully they spelled it right. Let's see. Did they spell it right? Maybe they didn't. Come on. Why is it not searching? What's going on? What is going on? Let's go to Grails. Let's see here. Yeah, I was wondering, Derek, if those LHCs are still made or not. I was kind of curious. Well, I appreciate you coming back. Well, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you all being here and wanting to chat. I just figured, you know, we usually hang out afterwards, so why not? You know, it's at least like a core of us that like to talk and hang out talking about knives and stuff. So to me, that's fun. Be Devious, I agree with the patterns, very nice. I just think that spending that much money, I think we should get exactly what we want, bro. You did good with the Grail Cortex XL. And so here's the thing. I wasn't particularly drawn to one pattern over the other. I didn't look at one pattern. I felt like if I didn't have that pattern, I felt like my knife was not as good. I will tell you that. So when I saw this one, after I checked out the one that was loaned to me, which was really nice, I like that pattern they had on there. This diamond and this high polish was something that just I really liked. And it was really just, to me, I was very excited to get this. And then after having that and seeing this beautiful diamond pattern and how that works with the Damascus, I was like, all right, that really works. That really works. So for me, with the inlay, I really dig how that works. And it looks really great with a lot of light. So yeah. But you're right. If you have a particular pattern you want, then go for it. Yeah, but at least it wasn't like earlier this year. The whole little family was sick for 6 months. Ugh. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how they are. I think it's is the other Brown brother design. I got the 331. Oh, you did? That's cool. Why is this not loading? Hold on. All right, so let's go here. There we go. All right, so let's find the Uldanov. Uldanov. That's Uldanov. That's how I spelled it. I don't know if that's okay. Then maybe it's Uldanov. Okay. I thought it was the other way. Okay. So this is the one right here, and it is in excellent condition. Yeah, that's nice. That's the purple haze fat carbon. The one that I have is the copper fat carbon, copper twill carbon. I really like that. And by the way, I put Skiffs in mine, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. This one, again, is one of those, once it warms up in your pocket, the action just gets better and better. But when it's not, haven't carried it in a while, then this is, to me, is like what a sheer Gorf should be. If I had a sheer Gorf, and this is the size and the shape that I would like it to be, right? I just really like the feel of this knife in the hand. It's just, the aesthetics speak to me a lot. May not speak to anybody else, but I really dig that kind of aesthetic. People call me boring, and that's all right. I'm okay with that. I like what I like. BladeBinge has been slow for a few days. I know, I spoke to Eric, and I do believe they're about to roll out their trade feature. So I don't know if that's part of what's going on with the server and how to handle that. Because I know when you do things like that, you got to update tables, you got to update performance, you got to do so that could be part of all of that. So I don't know. I'm not the IT for them. I don't know exactly everything that's going on, but my son decided to eat too much up and chucked up twice in the hallway before he was told to go to the throne. Didn't barf after that. Oh, nice. That's a nice barf story. Nice barf story. Arshir, how do y'all? Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Hope your son's performance went well. It did. I put a link earlier. If you look up, I did put the link for the prelims in the area. If you wanted to see what they do, kind of get a feel for what we're talking about here. Mind you, they're a small school, but that performance, when you look at it, looks like a large school. So I'm super proud of them. Super proud of them. Be devious. That's True. Sorry, I'm trying to read this here. True. That's and thanks, bro. It's a tough pick between it and the FSD, but I had to go with New Blood. So what did you go? What'd you go with M. Houston? Hold on, man. All my comments, they're all grayed out because I've already highlighted them. All the patterns are nice. In the end of the day, I would gladly took any of them. Gotcha. Must have missed what you posted up there. What you did get. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, the Cortex XL is such a great knife. I agree. I like mine. The Cortex XL is just really nice. And you know what's really nice is it's one of these that you can easily work, finger like that, right? You can move it over here. Can easily work with, just over like that, right? It works just really great from behind. And the other thing is, like, if you just put your thumb up like that, it works really well as well. And it just flicks really nicely. And then his fuller has just got perfect access where you can put the meat or your nail in there, and it flicks really well. And I do recommend putting Skiffs in there I mean, you don't have to. I'm just not a fan. Delring has never done well for me long term. The blade you're showing are the inlays pressed in. Oh, are you talking about the Uldanov? So looking on the inside, let me see. So there's milling for weight relief in there, very slight. There's some holes in there, which is typical when you glue it. So I assume they're glued in because there's little holes where you can push the glue through. So I'm assuming they're glued in. That's what you're asking. If that's what you mean by pressed in, it's not screwed in, it's glued in. It's permanent, right? They're not coming out. So it's similar to like what Trevor Berger did with this twill inlay on his Dakar, right? Oh, sorry, you can't see it. I'm so focused on the knife. Like at the car, this is the inlaid with the twill, and that's glued in as well. It's permanent. Now I will tell you on this one right here, they're screwed in. I could take that inlay out. They're screwed in from the back. I thought that was really fascinating. So you could take the inlay out if you needed to, but these are all glued in on this one here. Yeah, definitely glued in. Does that answer your question? I hope. MPG, how are you doing, Arsheer? Currently tinning wires at work. LOL. I won't be leaving until 1 a.m. Oh man, that's a bummer. All right, what's the best premium knife you would recommend for under $1,200? Levi Weaver. So when you're in this range, right? When you're in this range, it comes down to what you really like, your aesthetic that you enjoy the most, what's available, and what you really want at the time, right? Because there's a lot of knives that I would have gotten if they were ready at certain times, but they weren't. And so it's a process. And as they become available, you get what you get, unless you're fortunate enough to get open books from a custom knife maker. And if you do, just remember that's a very, very slow process. Do not expect expeditious kind of activity. Even getting the order in can take months, right? Depending on how busy they are. But that being said, I can't disagree with the Rosie is a great one. I can't disagree that the Skiff knife is a great one. The Skiff made blades, absolutely a great one. Grismo, if you like that look of the blade, I mean, here's the thing. I checked out a Norseman at the store, and the blade aesthetics aren't for me. But if they are for you, and they are for a lot of people, that's a very valid knife. Now, it does have a very guillotine drop shut, and if you like that about them, which a lot of people do, it's a fantastic knife. I wish the Rask could be a little more control shut. That's my only thing, because then the Rask would really open up for me. Because I like the Rask. I did like the look of the Rask. I think that would be the Grimsmo knife I would get. But the Skiff made blades, there's also very fancy versions. This is the Fugitive. There's the Accomplice. There's some other versions that he has out there that are just phenomenal. And the thing was, when I first saw this, I wasn't sure I was a big fan until you get up close and you actually handle it, and then you see how it works in the hand. It's ridiculous. It's phenomenal, right? And it works. It works so well. But there's different versions that they can do. He does some fantastic, incredible milling that he does on this thing. And you know the irony of this is, you look at this. This is a little bit like what happens with the Skiff caged bearings, the milling. It's very indicative of the Skiffs. I find that a beautiful aesthetic personally. So those are great. You can get a fancy version of the Lamia now. The Lamia tends to be a little less expensive. If you can find them. Brown knives are phenomenal. I like the brown knives. Prince Customs are phenomenal. Arius. Again, if you like the Arius, I think sometimes they can be really overpriced. Sometimes you find some that are ridiculously overpriced, some that aren't. Just got to look around, right? Like, I couldn't believe Urban EDC had some of these milled textured full-size Arius for $750. You go anywhere else, they're normally selling for $1,100. I was like, what? So, you look around. Rosie, like I said, the Holt Blade Works is phenomenal. Again, I wasn't sure about the Holt Blade Works, so I went to Blade Show Texas. And then I went over to Joe's booth and I handled one of these knives. And once I handled it, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's a different experience. Now I've handled a Herman Sting. I liked it. It was very uncomfortable in here. It dug into my hand. It's pokey, and I didn't care for that. So I was really not a fan because of the pokiness of the Herman Sting. But this one feels like a little beefier version of it. So I really dig that. So that's another one. I mean, Trevor Berger makes some fantastic custom knives, right? This is the Dakar, but he also has his classic, which everyone knows. There's the Leak, and then there's the Urban XL, which I really like. That was my first one. Here's the Urban XL. And beautiful hollow grind, full hand set and finish. This hollow grind is ridiculous. Drop, just really fantastic action. Because the hollow grind, I can middle finger reverse flick it as well. This particular one happens to be titanium on one side, and this is purple fat carbon with no null or no voids. I mean, it's just unbelievably perfect. And it's just a touch of purple that it's not overly ostentatious, that it almost looks like a perfectly patterned shredded carbon fiber with just a accent of purple, which is really what I really dig, because it makes it such a, it has that little spicy color that you really see in the sun without like totally taking away from, I don't know, the beauty and elegance of the knife. So I like that. So those are all possible. I mean, then you get the 80/20s, you know, if you can get the, one of the, matter of fact, they have a titanium 80/20. I don't know if you saw that. Did y'all see that? Okay. So sorry. I totally get it. Our shear, let's see here. I'm sure I'm missing comments. Oh my God. Oh, you guys are having conversations. I've totally missed it. Okay. So SPK, Rosie, non-flipper areas, Hog House. Yeah. Okay. So I will tell you, I have a Hog House Model T coming in Gen 2. It's actually in final assembly and about to be shipped. So I'm really looking forward to that. I also am getting a Cypress in, right? I'm waiting for that one. I really enjoyed the Cedar. You can get the Cedar and Vanix, and there's different versions of these guys. Again, this is an aesthetic that's not for everyone. Some people aren't going to like this aesthetic. Some people absolutely despise this aesthetic. I get it. It's not for you, right? There's some knives that I don't like the aesthetics. The Grismo Norseman, I don't like it. And those guys who love it, love it. And that's okay. I celebrate your Norseman with you, and I'm excited for you because I know it's a great knife. It's a fantastic knife. I know the quality is outstanding. I have no qualms about that. I think you did well to get one. It's just not my cup of tea. But these are. And they may not be your cup of tea, and that's okay too. So that, to me, when you're in that range, it comes down to what you want, what you like. So, I mean, that's my recommendation. I don't know. What do y'all think? Levi, the 80/20 is a tank user. Absolutely. Gribsmo, absolutely. Be devious. I still like what you recommend. Rosie, non-flipper areas, Hog House, Skiff, Annie Brown knives. Absolutely. Tony used to work until that time, but he is working as a machinist. He hated it and always stunk of oil when he got home. But he was tired. All right. Levi Weaver, I really like the Rask and the Herman Ishtar. So the Ishtar I haven't checked out. I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of see what, it's a bigger knife. It's supposed to have a different ergonomics. So that might be something I might like. I don't know. But it's not something I like so much I want to try and buy it and then see. I mean, I'd rather hopefully just get it, you know, if I'm at a blade show somewhere, I can just handle it. That would be cool. Or someone would be kind enough to allow me to borrow it. For even less money, you can also be looking into getting Blessed Knives or any edgy blade works. Okay, custom. Yep, that's for sure. There's a lot of options. And you're missing a lot more. Absolutely. There are tons out there. I mean, there's a couple of guys on our Discord. There's some French knives that he's pointed out. And they're really good. Then you've got the Ducklings. The Ducklings are phenomenal, but I mean, they start off right at $1,100. But those are fantastic. I've yet to handle one. I don't know for sure, but everyone who has it love it. So you have those. What else do we have here? Oh man, there's a lot of comments. You guys have been chatting. Okay. I shared my account with you on Instagram, Meredith. Okay. Arius is sitting more and more. Knife Center had non-flipper minis up for days. They're still there. Yeah. You know, when we were at Blade Show, that new knife that they came out with, and it sold for so much, and they had nothing for people to buy. I got to tell you, that was a real, I don't know. That was a real turnoff because Koenig Arius is not a pure one-off custom knife maker, right? He's not a Dahlberger or anything like that. He has a lot of production knives. Why would you go to Blade Show and not have 20, 30, 40, 50 or whatever, 100 Koenig Ariuses that everyday people could buy? That makes no sense to me. I mean, it's your call. He's going to do what he does, but to me, and then have that one knife that sold for what, $12,000, $15,000. I mean, it's like, it made me just kind of like, I was like, whatever. Right. That was just me. He's always got some more cool stuff in the works, and he makes them solid users, not just art. Need some more coin before hopping on his books. And that's the thing. Norseman Bros, Mr. Eddie. Yeah, Rob. I think the Norsey is a lot more than the Rosie. It depends on which Rosie, right? So you get a basic Rosie. You're right. Yeah, it's only $850, right? And a Norseman, a Rask is around $1,100. Depends on what you get. Could be $1,100 to $1,400, $1,500. A Grimsmo can be even more like that. So yeah, I feel like your user, you wouldn't even need to go through, go that high. That Quiet Carry LCD would be a perfect user for $400. Oh yeah, the LCD is so I like to rotate all my knives. I enjoy them all, and this to me is more of a knife that I would use every day for harder use, and I like that. I like knives like this that I can use. Okay, so I know this is, you go back 2-3 years ago, I would never be saying this. I would never be saying this because this 3-4 years ago, this knife would be equivalent to this knife to me today. That's the truth. Okay. And so, as you acquire more and you get more knives, things change, right? So, but this is the knife that I go around use. Here's the reality. My McNeese is a user knife. This right here is a user knife for me. I use and beat up this knife. I use it in the yard all the time. The Magna Cut is so tough. I've chopped down, I call them sunflower trees, This is a knife I've used a lot. So, but this is a great user knife as well. So, yeah. People hate the Norseman for looking like a horse, but I dig the blade shape. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's fine. You dig what you dig. You don't like what you like. Some people really hate the 80/20. They don't like the look of that shark blade or shark foots or sheep's foot. Some people hate sheep's foot. Some people hate clip points. Some people hate bowies. I think every knife, depending on how it's designed, could allure you in, depending on how it's made, right? Mr. Eddie, Arshier, I had 5 Norsey, only 3 left. You had 5 Norse, really? Norseman? Wow, I didn't know that. Level on up. Yeah, I'm back. Watch out. Better than ever. Maybe for the good or for the bad. All right, so Blessed Knives are not cheap. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. B. Davis, M. Houston, yet the Arius are still in stock, but they're great high-end knives, in my opinion. I actually ordered one because it's better than the Rosie from my experience. Just love it better. Depends on what you're using, what you like it for, right? So I would say as far as harder use, the Rosie is definitely going to have a little, I think it probably will do better. My Rosie that I love is a very thin, super thin blade shape, right? And so to me, it's different. And I will tell you, the one thing I find about this knife is it just has there's just a feel and a sound to it that I enjoy. And it's super thin, super slicey. So again, every knife has their plus and minuses, right? These wouldn't be in my collection if I didn't like them. But I won't tell you that, get this one over that one. I mean, it's a process. It was what was available, what I could get at the time, right? Oh shit, that makes sense. Then for the high price tag, Arshier, dude, that must take a while to make. Yeah, his stuff is top notch. He does everything by hand, no CNC. Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, I have heard about that. That's true. That definitely will add a lot of cost to you. And some people will only call those true custom knives. I disagree. I mean, I would call a custom knife with the assistance of a CNC is still a custom knife, but that's my opinion. You don't have to agree.
You could completely disagree with me. Hey, Mark Parks, got the knife. Mark Parks, what's up, Mark Parks, man? What did you get? Did you get a knife? What? Hey, Mark Parks, I guess you're all talking about something he was getting it. Oh, really? Not really my style, but to each their own. Absolutely. Just like the Sheer Gorf. I think it's a cool knife. There's very few Sheer Gorfs that have really appealed to me. Having handled one, it's a knife made for larger hands and longer fingers. I find it incredibly not ergonomic for me. If they had a smaller compact version, I think it would be amazing, but they don't, they just don't make those. Those are rare, and usually those are specifically customs. So no. I own a basic Rosy B Devious, but am hunting for a Silver Surfer. So B Devious, you could find one of it and make your own Silver Surfer if you were willing to do that. I think over here, one back. Let's find it. I think there was a Rosy. Let's see. Pretty sure. Oh, it sold. It must have sold. Oz. Did it sell? Oh, that's a nice one. To Rob Johnson's. That's not bad. That's Vanix. So that's got the Vanix Super Clean. That's cool. That's a good deal. Yeah, I guess the Rosy sold. There was a Rosy here that was only $850. That's actually not a bad price for a Rosy. I was surprised it was there, and I can see that it did. That's about cost. Maybe a little more. I don't know about that. Or is it close to cost? Yeah, maybe it's brand new. Is it like new in box? Okay, yeah. So it's you're getting an option of buying a brand new one. So that's nice. Definitely a benefit. If you can't find it and it's here, you wanted the green, there you go. Now, what is this, the Hoback? I'm just not a big fan of Hoback. Well, I guess they sold. There was a Rosy. I was going to say you could take that, Oh, man, you guys are chatting away, and I'm so far behind. I am so far behind. Rob, I'll ask you again, what's up with the TRM Bulldog, yes or no? So the TRM Bulldog, it's a little small. I think, personally, if you like a smaller EDC, like if you like the Neutron, and the Neutron's just fantastic size for you, I think you'll like the Bulldog. I will say that, right? It's definitely not a larger knife. So I like the idea of this. I can't wait till they do contoured scales. I think that's going to make it do even better. But it's definitely a cool knife for sure. So if the size is okay with you, yes. If you are on the fence with a smaller size and you typically aren't a super fan of a smaller size, I might pass on it. Might go for something bigger. Go for an Atom or something, unless you really, really want the River Lock, the Axis Lock. So there you go. We got Knife Royalty in the house. Oh, who's the Knife Royalty in the house? We got Knifhts Knives. What's up, man? Knifhts, Jared, what's up, man? How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here tonight. I'm honored. Always honored when some of the big dogs show up and say hello. It makes me feel like I need to bow my blades in your honor. And I missed out on your knife. He sold out so fast, and I work. Oh gosh, I was hoping I could get in the pass round, but hopefully you're going to do another drop. I'm hoping you're doing another drop in the near future. I really do. Let's see here. What else we got going on here? I am so far behind my conversations, man. What's going on? Okay. Yeah, everyone had a long day for sure. Mr. Eddie, they're all solid knives. Yeah, there's a lot of solid knives. I think you could do well with any of those, right? So it comes back to aesthetics, what you like, what you prefer, what's available. What you dig, right? If there's money is no limit, there's a lot of things you can do. But most of us aren't quite there. If we're like normal people, we find what we find, and we're happy when we find it, right? When we look at those grails, right? But there you go. Well, man, so Knifhts, I don't know if you're still here, but we have a few left, all DLC. And plain options, only a few though. I'm happy to send you one. Check out if you. Oh, I would love to, man. Jared, I would be honored. The DLC is the one I actually really would have wanted, so that's cool. Yeah, yeah, because I didn't get around on the pass around. I know a few of the other guys that I talked to had a chance to look at it, and I didn't know how to get on your pass around. Like I'm on the pass arounds for some of the other knives, but I'm so far down on the list. I'm probably going to get the knife in before, and I figured I'd order your knife before I'd even have a chance to even ask to borrow it or look at it or anything. But when I went in there, they were all sold out. So you're saying you have a few more? Now, are these aren't your warranty knives, right? I don't want to put that for you to give up a warranty knife, because I know you have to have a certain inventory to cover warranty. I don't want to put you in a pinch or anything. But if that's possible, yes, I would be honored. Oh, the SPK Shark fixie today. Oh, I saw that. I saw he had some of his fixies. It was a really good price for his fixie, actually. That's what he started off with, you know. He started making those, I think, during COVID, if I remember the story. No, there are just a few left in stock, and we have warranty ones aside. Okay. Well, why didn't I see them? When I looked, they weren't. Okay. Then I'm a dummy. Maybe it was the one I was looking for. Maybe I was only looking at a particular color at the time. I don't know. I don't know. So I will tell you, unlike everyone else here, you know, Neves, Jared, I work full time, and I just did a project, and I worked 20 hours this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and I've been putting about 70 hours in a week. I support some government things, and I can't really talk about it, but I work in IT, and so I was working a lot of hours, and sometimes just getting one video out, just being able to do all this stuff has been really hard, and I've missed so many drops because of it. So, oh man, I appreciate it. So do you want me to contact you on Instagram and just let you know? I will. You've talked to me before. You helped me out. I remember very much one time when the first time I ever got contacted it as a channel, someone and I asked you, and I said, hey, is this legit? And you were like, yeah, they sound legit. It was Share Sale. I didn't know what Share Sale was, and you were so kind to help me out. I just want you to know, I still remember that, and I appreciate that. It meant a lot to me. You may not have thought 2 seconds about it, but just the fact that you took the time to reply, that meant a lot. So I just want to tell you, thank you for that. It's the small things that you do that means a lot. And so I try to extend that to others as well because of what you did. So just want you to know that. Hopefully I'd like more than the regular Rosie. Oh, so you're trying to get a Rosie XL. Okay. I got you. All right. Fair enough. Well, I appreciate it. Anything, even a used one, you know, one that you got returned, I would just love to look at it. I just want to feel the ergos, you know, even if it's a prototype, I'm totally okay with that because I hear all the good things about it. And I would love to give my 2 cents about it, you know, little channel here. But you know, things are moving along. I'm a nerd, you know, and I look at every aesthetic and appreciate every knife for its intended purpose and its design and its function. And to me, I don't know, that's how I enjoy so many knives that even I might not have in my collection, or I do have in my collection, because then you get to enjoy it. So yeah. Okay. So I thought they were sold out. All right. So if you have an extra one that I could, even if it's a loaner, I would be honored. So thank you. Yes, I will reach out to you. Yeah, so that's okay. That's okay. I figured they'd sell out because they're freaking amazing. Everything I've heard about them were awesome. That's why I asked if you were going to have another run of them. You know, maybe do another production run. Maybe, you know, a second. I'm hoping you consider that. So because obviously they sold well. So I know that's always, you got to weigh the risk of, you know, how well did they sell? Will they sell the same as the second time around? I don't know. But I think they did well. So I don't think that's a high risk. My opinion. I don't know. I don't know any knife sales. I don't make knives. I'm not in that. I'm a lover of knives. I enjoy knives. I have no intention ever to do a knife. So I'll just say that up front. My intention has never been to ever create a knife. And I'm just going to say that even when people ask me, no intention, that's just so you know. But I love all knives and I appreciate all knives. So yeah. All right. Yeah, they're all sold out. Okay. So why is it not refreshing over here? Why is this not refreshing? Hold on. This is my chat that I can share comments with and it's not refreshing. Dang it. There we go. All right. Yeah, they're also, maybe I might be wrong. Yeah, no worries. Hey, it's the king doesn't always know what the lords and the barons are doing, right? You're up there in the castle. No, I'm just kidding. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. No, but that's cool though. Zach Stuff. Hey, happy Monday, man. Zach, what's up? Appreciate you being here tonight. How are you doing? Welcome. Man, we got Neves Knives, we got Zach, we got all sorts of crazy. We got all sorts of wonderful people in here. I say crazy, I don't mean crazy. I mean just wonderful, crazy, wonderful people here. How about that? So, yeah, I missed your live on Sunday, Zach. I was going live with software. I worked 22 hours on Saturday and Sunday, and that doesn't mean that I worked Saturday for 14 hours, Friday to midnight, 14 hours. And then I had to sleep because I was up all throughout the night. I did a go live. I work in IT and I had to implement software. So I was just not available to the world, so to speak. Yeah, it was a long weekend. It's a long weekend. As of today, I've already put in my 40 hours, but I still got to work another 4 days. So there you go. That's the joy of being on salary. You get paid for the work. You don't get paid for the hours. Oh, well. It is. It's a good looking slicer. I agree with you, Laid Off Pete. Everything I've heard about it has been phenomenal. Even the people who got a chance to check it out. I'm looking forward to hopefully the next run, Jared. I'm hoping. So I can buy one. I know even Casey, when over at Tempest Knives, he had one of his Fractus. You know how I got a Fractus? Okay, so I was bugging Casey for a while if he could buy a Fractus and stuff, and so he's like, no, they all sold out, and I was like, okay. I said, well, if you ever happen to one, maybe that gets returned, and if even it's not perfect or something, I would love to buy one or something like that. So I just kept bugging him about it. So he's cleaning up in his kitchen, apparently, where he was boxing all his knives, and he found one of the knives, I think, under his fridge or something like that. His wife and they were moving stuff, and they found one under the fridge. So now he can't really go post a single knife for sale for just one knife. So he reached out and said, hey, do you still want that one knife? I was like, absolutely. And so I paid full price for it. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So that's how I got my Fractus. So there you go. So Neves, if there's one underneath your, Jared, if there's one underneath your fridge, I'll take it. There we go. All right. Yeah. So if you didn't know, I was here earlier. I signed off at 8:30 because my son had his band performance. They're going to state on Wednesday. He's a senior. I have two seniors, one playing soccer, one in band, and the band, one area, they beat the reigning state champions, and they're going to state in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome, and they're performing there. And they're kind of favored, but they're just going down there to perform, do their best. But this could be a special year, so we're really excited. And we went to see his last performance on the football field tonight. It's a little emotional for him all because he's been doing band for 6-7 years. He may do band in college when he's studying to be a vet at Mississippi State. We'll see. But it was cool. It was cool. Their band and music is phenomenal. It's just really phenomenal. They played one of the songs is "Hurt" by 9 Inch Nails. It had that whole melody in there. It rocked. Oh, it was so good. If you like 9 Inch Nails or if you like Hurt, it's the different version than the Johnny Cash version. If it's really nice. So if anybody's into music, I like the 9-inch version because it has 3 melodies that kind of harmonize together, right? Where Johnny Cash is pretty set, it's pretty straight. It's a one melody. So the 9-inch nails kind of has almost a symphonic sort of, and that's why it does well for a marching band, I thought. So if you like music, it was cool. It was cool. All right, come on, refresh for me. Why are you not refreshing? I gotta figure out how I can get this tool to, there we go. Oh yeah. Lucky fridge. I know, right? The lucky fridge. I mean, it happens once in a while, you know, what is it? Even a broken clock is correct 2 times a day. So, you know, even me, I can get lucky once in a while, right? Oh, I'm hoping, Jared, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. That would be stinking awesome. I'd love it. I'd love it. Yeah, learn how to sharpen. Absolutely, man. You know, everything I always tell people when they say, you know, I show them what I do. And I say, but if you really want to learn, there's definitely far better people out there than what I do. But if you want, you know, I'll share what I do, but what I learned how to do is I learned from others. And like how to even strop a knife. I actually learned that from you, Jared. So I appreciate your videos, just so you know. So, and I mean that you guys have heard me. I've recommended that. So, our shear, I used to work with used to blast some god awful nin in the shop. Everyone hated it. Okay. So, I'm not sure what that is, but that's cool. All right. It's bedtime. MPG, it's time for you to go to bed. Hey, have a great night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And thanks for your live stream last night, by the way. Wait. Did Mr. Eddie get his Rosie XL he's been hunting? Oh, good luck. Congrats if he did, man. Pack Rat, what's up, man? Live on my fridge just had some lost blueberries that rolled in. Are they like little rocks now? Little blueberry rocks? Yeah, there you go. I mean, you know, nothing like blueberry rocks. You gotta love those. Pack Rat. Nin is 9-inch nails. Oh, okay. Oh, I got you. So I didn't know there was a like abbreviation for it. Now you're calling me out like I'm a dummy here. So, you know, my music was Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and Dio and stuff like that. So, oh, congrats, man. Congrats, Mr. Eddie, on your acquisition. Yeah. So anybody have anything exciting going on? Any cool things coming up for the year end that you're looking forward to coming in? Like I said, I got my little notice from Hog House that my Model T Gen 2 is going to be about to be shipped. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to potentially, I was looking forward to 2 knives for the end of the year, maybe 3, from a few YouTube channels, which, you know, I always find it funny. Some people tend to be, I'm going to gripe a little bit here, right? There's some people who immediately be like, just because you got a YouTube channel, you shouldn't make a knife. Well, why not? I mean, this is a legitimate question. Why not? I mean, someone who looks at knives for a long time, all the time, knows what they likes, knows what they don't like. They might have some ideas. I mean, they might, right? So why not at least give them an opportunity? And what I've seen in a few of them, they've been pretty phenomenal. So I think it's at least worth a shot, right? So that's my position. But for those who are totally open to it, you know, we all love the cool designs. You know, there you go. We're fine with it. But I know a few people don't, and that's okay. Yeah. I might dress the Knifhts 1 in the way of the knife tie rose gold scales. Depends on whether I can get my lack of thumb studs on my current lander resolved. So what happened to your thumb studs? What happened to your thumb studs? I agree with you. I think the knife community is the people to design knives. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like knives. I do. I like knives. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been told I'm obsessive with knives, and yeah, probably am. But here's the thing: I could very easily be obsessed with some really bad things in my life. Many of us, as we all know, we've had friends who made bad decisions, and they may not be here with us anymore because of those decisions. And so, we are all very understanding of that, right? So, with that in mind, I think there's far worse things to be obsessed with. And anyhow, I think it's a tool. If things were to go but negative, you have some great trading commodities. There's a lot of knives are always used. You don't need generators. You don't need gasoline to use a knife. So that's always, it has future equity if in a very bad situation, right? I'm just saying. So I'm not saying that's why I do it. It's not what I do it, but ultimately I enjoy it. I love seeing the designs. I love seeing the ergonomics. Like that's what I've always said when I first started this channel. I would have done this live stream with 5 people here, every Monday. And I mean that because I like knives. I like to see the design. I mean, like I used to hate the Spyderco until I handle it. And I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense. I get it. I mean, I know there's some people who, Zach, and this, there's some people who do not like Benchmade and they can't see past the price. And I get that. I mean, I wish they'd make better decisions on those things, but there's still some great knives. I still think the Narrows is a really well-made knife. I still like the Narrows, and people are going to hate me for saying that, but I do. I think there's that thin titanium, the milling to be able to do that without the warpage, to have such a thin blade. When you get that thin on an M390 blade and you don't have warp on the blade, I mean, there's a lot of things involved there. There's a reason why some people will do much thicker blade stock. There's a whole lot less warping that you have to worry about, right? I mean, it's just a whole lot of things that people don't think about. Spitting some truth bombs. Yeah, I'm just going off of I'm rambling. I'm rambling. Watch out. Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely. So I'm not quite in the boat where I get to see those knives that people throw at me. I buy everything. I mean, I've started to the point where I get a few knives and I'm very excited about that. But typically I don't, I tend to be very honest, right? And I know you are, and I know everyone else is. And so I don't think, people, I don't know if my style, my personality appeals to everybody. I can tell you though, anytime I review a quiet carry knife, it just goes, everybody seems to like those reviews and unboxings because I dig quiet carry. I've always liked quiet carry. So that's one of those things. And when I do a Benchmade, for some reason, I do a Leatherman tool, I can drop it and 3 days later, I'll have like 20 views. And then I look back next week and it's got 3,000 views. And you're like, what happened? And it just keeps going and going and going, right? It's, for me as a small channel, that's a big deal. For Neves, that's what he sees in an hour, right? Or less. So, but relatively speaking, right? Relatively speaking, we all have our growth. We all have our size, right? It's all relative to who we are. And I'm happy where I'm at. I'm enjoying this. It's fun. It's a hobby. I love this. I'm enjoying it. It's, I put a lot of passion into it. And so I'm just going to keep enjoying doing what I'm doing, just like everyone else is. And I appreciate everyone in the community, and I keep learning. I always learn. I feel like if I'm not learning, then something's wrong. Right. And being a nerd and liking to learn, I have no problems with that. So electricity is greater than knife. You probably truth there about that. You're probably truth about that. Let's see here. It's way better if you're actually passionate about them and make money. I agree. Yeah. If you don't like knives, I don't know about you, Jared, and I think everybody else here would agree, and Zach and Paul and Level On Up and Wisey and everybody else. I think you'd all agree, right? And Mr. Eddie, Pack Rat, if you don't like knives, it kind of becomes pretty obvious, right? It's pretty obvious, and if you're doing it just kind of like, I don't know, you lose that passion for it. And the other thing is, I always say, you know, love what you buy and buy what you love, and focus on that. Don't feel like you have to. The most freeing thing for me, I'm throwing another truth bomb out there. You guys probably all know this already, but what really appeals to me is that I don't have to own every knife that just because it's a knife everybody owns, right? You know, I had an Umnumzon, Chris Reeve Umnumzon, beautiful knife, gorgeous, one of the best looking Chris Reeve knives out there. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It's the best looking knife, but I hated it. The over travel stop that you couldn't remove didn't allow you to tune the detent. The ceramic ball detent didn't allow you. It was so tight. It had radius milling chamfering for the lock bar that was so uncomfortable, and because it was so stiff, it really dug into my finger. Just a lot of things that I didn't care. Now the large Sebenza, completely different. Love it. Love it. Absolutely fine. I can tune it. Everything's great. But there you go, right? So as long as you know, you don't have to have every knife that people tell you to have. I always see that when people start collecting, I always collect the things that everyone says you should have. And I did that. You know, I got really into, when I first started, I did Benchmade. Went Benchmade crazy. And then I sold all my Benchmades. Like I didn't want them. Then I realized, oh no, I like Benchmade. And there's some that I really enjoy. So I'm going to have those in my collection. I don't have to hate Benchmade just because I don't like him anymore. Right. So, you know, just enjoy what you have. Enjoy what you, to me, it's like, that's what I do. All right. I quite like knives, but even 5 on my desk feel like a crown. I'll probably never buy anything over $100 for myself again. I'm too poor. You know, I understand. And we all have seasons, right? We all have seasons. There could very well be a season. I've always said this. If it ever comes up to the fact that I need to take care of my family, if I ever need to take care of my family, none of these knives matter more than my family. I will sell every single one of them. Now, I'd hope I could keep at least 5, maybe. I have top 5 that I always want to keep. But if I have to, I'll sell every one of them for the sake of my family. They're secondary to the family. So I always want people to know that. But I enjoy them. I very much I'd love to give these to my sons to have as a gift. I mean, they may not like them at that point. They may want to sell them or something. I don't know. But I would love to give them a knife like this. So Zach stuff. What did he say? You can sell me your 940s, Rob's Nerdy Knives. I have only one. This is my 940 with the Rockscale design scales on there, with the contoured scales. You probably already have one, probably a little fancier than this one. This was stone washed, acid washed. I'm always thinking about polishing this up because I was really hoping the blade would be a little bit more like my bug out over here. Here's the S90V on the bug out. See how it's nice, beautiful. I mean, it's a really polished stone wash. That's what I was hoping was on this one. And, but it looks nice on here, I think, but that's my only 940 I have right now. And I did change the studs on there. Did you see that? I put the conical studs on there, kind of like what was on the Adamas. To me, it's a little easier access for me. So I like that because I got big old meaty fingers, right? I don't have the little thin fingers. So it's hard for me to work some of those things. Squirrel, when Jared joined the chat for Rob Squirrel, you know, it is. Hey, I'm honored to have a conversation with Jared and with Zach. Both of those guys I really like, and I enjoy their channels. I've watched their channels for a long time. So for them to join here, I'm honored. Why wouldn't I be? Right? I don't want them to feel like it's uncomfortable, but at the same time, I just want them to know I appreciate them. Right? Like I appreciate all you guys. I hope you know that. Every one of you guys I appreciate, but it's always nice to have a guest like that to honor them. It kind of, I think it's cool. All right. So I have a couple of other, okay. You have a dozen 940s, some duplicates. And so here's the difference between you and me, Zach. Every knife I have, every knife I own, I carry. It's always been my thing. And I've said it. And I've always wondered, I hear people who have Safe Queens. I have one Safe Queen. I do have one Safe Queen. One Safe Queen. It's my dad's knife he bought before World War II. It's almost 100 years old. My brothers all want it. My sons all want it. That's my one Safe Queen. But it's meaningful. And it's probably not a very expensive knife. But that's my Safe Queen, right? I have 2 technically sort of Safe Queens, but I carry them. I have a TR3 Auto. Magna Cut that my wife bought me for my anniversary, and I have a Paramilitary 2 that my wife bought for me for my anniversary. So those are always going to stay in my collection. I'm not going to sell those, right? So those will always remain in my collection. But every other knife I carry, and if I don't carry, then it's a catch and release. So no matter what the knife is. Now, I'm not going to go out and chop wood or anything with every knife, but I'm certainly going to enjoy them. That's how I enjoy my knives. That's how I choose to enjoy. Some people enjoy Safe Queens, go to the box, open them up, and enjoy, and that's perfectly fine. If that's your way to enjoy your collection, totally cool, man. I salute you. I salute you. You know, it's your knives. They're your knives, your collection, man. Do what you want, right? I'm going to say it till I turn blue in the face. Buy what you love and love what you buy, right? It's you do you, and you enjoy you. For sure, Wisey, I never forgot when you're seeing everyone's greatest hits consistently on social media. It seems like you should be keeping up. In reality, you do you and don't worry about it. I agree. I agree with that. I mean, you know, you look at Jared or Richards, or from Neves Knives and Metal Complex. You look at some of their super grail knives from like Herman and stuff, and you feel like, do I got to go spend $5,000 on a knife like that? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. But that's also, they're at a different level in their knife channel and their career and their influence and stuff. And so that's different. Just like Zach has access. Now I'm sure he still has to pay for it, but maybe sometimes he gets a little break because he's got a good relationship with Benchmade. I'm only guessing, Zach. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I suspect that his collection of Benchmades, it's because of his channel and his influence in the years that he's worked with them. And that's a relationship that he's fostered. And it serves him well to have access sometimes to knives that I don't think I would ever get a chance to look at. And I like that. And I know in our pass around, we get to check out Benchmades because of Zach and because of his relationship with Benchmade. And I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. So those are things that to me are worthwhile. Just like I have certain relationships with certain knife companies that I don't understand why I do. They like me, and my stuff, my perspective seems to do well for them. And so I have a good relationship with them, and I like that. I want to foster that, but I also want to be honest. Just like all of us, you don't ever want to compromise your integrity, right? That's the other thing. And so that fine line between, being honest, and you don't have to be destructive and horrible to be honest, right? And you don't have to be overly nice to withhold honesty, right? I don't know what y'all think about that. I'm rambling. It is 11:20 at night, so I'm in one of those rambling modes, which is either better or for worse. It could be like, y'all could be like, yeah, whatever. I did not see the new list. The only thing about Zach, when the list comes out, there's so many people in our pass around, which is, I think it's great. It's great. But here's my small frustration with the pass around. I was in one of the pass arounds that literally took over half a year, and there wasn't that many people in the list. We used to have a thing where you should take no more than 10 days and move the knife along. And there's some people that hold on to the knife for like 2 months. And at that point, it makes me just want to give up. And so quite frankly, sometimes I will go buy the knife and then do a catch and release because it's quicker and I get a chance to check it out when the knife is still relevant. And so I get frustrated sometimes with that unless I'm in early in the pass around. And I always try to review it and send it along really fast, right? Because I don't want to be the guy that holds on to the knife for a month or two. And I get things come up, things happen. I understand that, but that's why I feel like you should never have too many knives at one time. If things happen, you're only slowing down one knife, not a whole bunch. So it's a personal thing. For better or for worse, I'm not trying to dog anybody, but Yeah, and I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I can always tell. You point out little things that you like something, but you always point something out, and there are things that are really important for me. So like I watch people, and I always notice certain things that you talk about, just like, you know, there's small details that really are meaningful to me. Like if you're telling me there's a really nice high end knife, and there's little sharp edges in certain places, to me that's a big miss on a nicer, more expensive knife, right? Those are things that are important. Placement of a thumb hole, placement of a thumb stud, you know, the action, different things that you just, you know, the jimping on a flipper, things like that are really important. And I always like those details, and I pay very close attention to that. Oh, that's cool. Really? Okay. All right. Well, I will have to take a look at that. I feel like I should almost do that while we're on here. I didn't know that was a new one because I always miss those. Let me go look. Uh, so Jared, what was that you want to try? Are you guys talking about, have you had an excellent audience? Your honest sincerity, it doesn't go unnoticed. Same with Rob and Zach and many others. Well, I appreciate that, man. Level on up. I know I appreciate that, and I'm 100% sure Zach appreciates that. Yeah, he did, and so does Jarrett, because that means a lot. Because we really try, and I don't know about you, Jarrett and Zach, but I really, there's days when everyone deals with this. There's days when you just want to not be nice, and there's days when you just, I don't know. It can be challenging trying to be very methodical. Oh, the 940 my son bought me was the first. He first got a job. He's 16. Oh, that's super cool. That's nice. That's super cool. Congrats, man. Making knives. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, everyone. I don't know about that. If you do any knives. So I'll have to ask you this, Jarrett and Neves, and anybody else out there, because some of you guys I know make knives. I've seen you guys, and like Mr. Eddie, I bought one of his knives, which I really enjoyed. The Creamy Dreamy knife, which by the way, I did give as a gift, and it was very much appreciated. So may have to talk to him about another knife, but I really, it's cool, but I don't know. The problem is I'm such a nerd that if I got into it, I would like go so over the top. I would have to get a first. I mean, I couldn't just do a little bit. I would be like all in, which is good in some ways, but sometimes can be really annoying to my family. Because I'm a little obsessive when it comes to stuff like that. And that's I guess that's why I really dig knives and stuff, right? So I will tell you one thing that I did do on my, I know you guys gonna freak out on this one. I got this one in. It's a beautiful knife. This is the nicest knife in my collection. It's the most expensive knife in my collection. I love this thing. I actually paid Craig Brown's list price on it, which is amazing to find something like this at that. But it had a weird shape, and I asked the guy, he had never taken it out of the box. It was not used. And I think what happened is because he uses the machine, I could tell that he must have slipped as he was sharpening the edge, because it had that, here's the smooth edge, and then it had a second kind of a second edge. And I couldn't get this thing to really sharpen, so I had to reprofile the edge. And I learned, now, I asked KME guys, you know, I use a strap, so I make sure I don't put a smile or anything, especially on a knife like this. So I use a zip tie, excuse me. And I know you can use painter's tape and some other things, but I did reprofile the edge to something that I thought was much better. And it now is actually sharp. I did enjoy that. The other thing was there was a little sharpness on here. And I wouldn't have noticed that had I not just reviewed another mini FSD that Josh had let me borrow. And it was perfect. It was no edge, but this had like, almost like it got missed getting finished. You know, when you have a little edge, then you typically would get maybe like a little buffing on there and just take care of it. So I took care of those two things, and now the knife is just exactly perfect. But I just say that, you know, even someone as good, like people aren't, no one's perfect, right? So that can happen. You know, some people get a conic knife and their edges they're not sharp. Mine came in super sharp, Could it be sharper? Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, stropping it and got definitely sharper. But I'm just saying, no one's perfect. But I will tell you one of the things, though, I did use the KME guided sharpener. I was very careful and had a lot of experience, a lot of practice with it, and learning from a lot of people what things not to do and what things to do and how to keep that away. So, you know, taking your time, don't rush it. Don't rush. That'll be cool making knives. That's cool. So you're gonna have a furnace, a blast furnace. You're gonna have are you gonna get a big giant anvil and the big hammer and all that stuff? I don't know. That just seems to me like the coolest thing out there, right? I got the TS Prof and some bonded diamond stones. Stones, your edges will be amazing. Yeah. So I don't know if what KME uses, right? I've heard TS Prof is like the best. That's a Russian one, right? Those are the guys that come out of Russia. I think we were talking last Monday. We were talking about that. Matter of fact, here on the live stream, and I was really recommended to look at those TS Profs. And I believe the guy who's selling them is the one who's actually has them. Right? Is that the ones we're talking about? Right? Hey, Happy Knife, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Good night, folks. Time to get some sleep. Hey, Mr. Eddie, thanks for being here. Again, appreciate your service. Thank you for serving and keeping us safe. I do appreciate you, my brother, and so many people who are out there who have served or are still serving. So thank you. Thank you. Oh, Pack Rat, it was the same. Wait. Oh, I thought you were telling me it was that what we were talking about. I don't know if you guys were here last week when we were talking about that. I was kind of curious because I think that's the TS Prof, right? That's the one we're looking at. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me, maybe it's in my history. Let me see if I can find it. Because if we go back to last Monday the 4th, yeah, it was TS Prof. There it is. Yeah, you were recommending the KO3 Pro Hunter series. And now that one is how much is that one? That's the expensive one. Yeah, it's that $800 one. Little pricey for me. A little pricey. So, Jared, is there poor man's? I mean, is the KME okay to start with before I can get to something like the TS Prof? I mean, that's nice. That is here. This is the one we were looking at last week. So I think this is what you were talking about. You just mentioned. That's definitely next level sharpening there. It's really cool, but definitely next level. You were in a short bus growing up. Ah, come on. Maybe I was in a short bus, but that was because it was a small road and a small community. No, I'm just... I got to roll out. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Man, appreciate you, Arshir. Thanks for being here tonight. Thank you for everyone being here. Remember, members... Next week is the members giveaway. So I will be dropping the members video for you guys to enter. We'll have another giveaway next week. I'd like to do something nice. I appreciate you guys. And so, you know, just do our nice little thing. So that one is this is the KO3 Hunter series. I believe, sharpness, here we are. So there's, oops, I'm sorry, went there. So I know there's some less expensive ones, but this is still so much more than my KME. I know they're good. And everybody tells me they're good. And I know if you have a knife, you know, why would you not spend that if you spend that much on it? I get it. But I thought my KME was not terrible. So tell me why I should go from my KME to a TS Prof. Or I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it TS Prof? I assume it's TS Prof. Why should I give up on or not give up, but move from KME to TS Prof? Tell me why. Somebody give me the rationale. And then if I do, tell me which one I should get. At least as a starter. Hey, BDC man, what's up? Appreciate you being here this evening. How are you? Yeah, definitely round two. Well, I stopped at 8:30 because I had to go see my son's band performance, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It was his last one as a senior, so I was super excited to go see that. I was very much enjoyed that, and I'm glad I did it. I really am. And this is a senior. I have twins, and both of them are seniors, and one's going to be in band. We got state finals on Wednesday, and then we got soccer coming up and some good stuff coming up there. So those things are going to take priority here and there. And I hope everybody understands because, I only get these guys as a senior once, and I don't want to miss it. So my son's band. All right. So they had area competition 1 week from 1 week ago from this last Saturday. So like 9 days ago, they won area first place. They went to finals and won first place in area. They won by 1 point over the reigning state champions. And they're going to see them in the state championship in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. And it'll be the top 32 bands in the state performing in the 4A division. So in their group, I think it's like they're the top, 32 bands out of a couple of thousand bands in the state. So, that's a pretty big deal. And when my son was a freshman, they got 6th place in state overall. Then they got 5th place in state, and then last year they got 4th. They actually tied for 3rd, but they got 4th with a tiebreaker. So we're hoping this year they at least get better, maybe get a medal. But they're kind of favored to do really well. But we try not to think about that and just go out there and do their best and have fun and enjoy the moment. And if you listen, if you want to think marching band sounds boring, they do a nice version of 9 Inch Nails' Hurt. It's really nice. And they've got the 3 harmonies going in like the 9 Inch Nails does it. It's not like the Johnny Cash version, which is one single harmony. And it's really nice. It's really nice. I posted the links. If you guys want me to post the links again, I can post the links if you want to see what they sound like. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, it definitely is. It may not be the high school marching band you may have remembered. It's definitely it's next level. Kind of think of it like college, like a big time college band. All right. Hey, Happy Knife. Appreciate you being here this evening. Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, it is 11:30. I was on here a little bit longer than I thought it'd be, but I don't mind. I picture the movie Drumline. Oh, actually, yeah. They have a drumline that you actually win a competition for best drumline. And that's what, here, let me post so you can get a flavor. I can't really play it here because there's a copyright stuff, but let me share with you. I'll give you the preliminary version first, which is what they did in prelims, right? This is how they got into finals, which I think was the better sounding music version. And then the finals is where they won, which their marching was spot on in that one, I thought. So at least get you a little flavor what a small school. Now you go to the 5A and the 6A schools, and they look like colleges. They're ridiculous. So let me see if I can pull it up without the audio. All right. So this is their band right there. My son is this tuba. I think that's him right there. This is my son, the tuba right there. And let me get out of the way so you can see it. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. All right, let me see if I can zoom this in. All right, I want to show you without the audio. So he is, this is him right here. I just really can't play the audio. Let me see. So if I could play one little piece of the music, let me play when they break out. It's just worth hearing it when they kind of do their thing. So do y'all see the smile there? No, not yet. So I know this is kind of boring, but I think you find it kind of cool. Just one little piece that's just worth listening to. So Beethoven is the first piece, which is actually pretty good. I mean, it's kind of got a nice beat to it and everything. And they should be turning around. Here we go. Nope. are they? It's just, I just want you. Nope. Cause I only get like a little shot here. Right. And then I get into that copyright thing. I just don't want to mess that up. All right, here we go. Maybe this is the section. All right, so let's go back. So, okay, I can't do too much. I can't do too much. I just don't want the copyright. But it's really cool. It's really cool. If you get a chance to listen to it, the music is really good. Now, mind you, this is a recording from almost 100, 150 yards away. If you're down in the bleachers, it's friggin' amazing. It is just really nice. And then when they do the Hurt version, the harmonies on that is just, it's sick. Anyways, you guys probably could care less about that, but I just thought I'd share with you. I mean, it's my son. Why not? I'm proud of him. So what can I say? Mineral wells. I think did you, yeah. So why is he, so China Spring, just so you know, 2 years ago was ranked #1 in the nation, their football team. They were phenomenal. They were #1 the year before. They won the state championship, undefeated. The next year they lost one game to like a 5A team that won the state championship, right? But they won their state championship and they were phenomenal and they were ranked #2 in the nation. And then this year they didn't even make the playoffs. It was just not good. They struggled this year. It was really tough. Sad. So yeah, how the mighty have fallen, you know. I mean, we destroyed Carthage, and if you all know about Carthage is a wrecking ball of a team, and we destroyed them that year, but there's no chance, you know. They got a lot of rebuilding to do. Oh, can we hear this? Let's see if this is the harmony. Oh, here it is. This is the Hurt. Okay. I'm probably going to get copyright strike for that. So if I have to go back and cut that out of the video later on, I just want to let you know. But if I can leave it in, I'll leave it in. But I sometimes at the end I'll get a copyright and then I'll have to cut this little clip out. But definitely that's the Hurt part right there from 9 Inch Nails. So yeah, I'm hoping they do well, right? Oh, used to play at Alito. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, Alito is their football team. They have such a history. They had the biggest history until Carthage, right? So Carthage, thanks to the coach that was there, he's won more state championships than any other coach until him. Alito dominated, and before that, I believe it was it Alice that dominated before that? Can't remember. There's some of the great histories, dynasties, if you will. All right, so somebody sent me, you said you sent it on Instagram. Let me take a look over there. So I want to make sure I'm, let's see here. Oh, that's cool. Oh, Derek, thank you. Thank you. I'll talk to you about that. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, did you notice the smiley faces that they did? When we were there at State, it kind of blew me away. Also, in the very beginning, I got to find the spot. There's this little spot where they make this triangle, and I didn't even notice what it was, but the shape literally looks like a cross stitch. Oh, here it is. Look at this. You got to see it when it happens. Yeah. Okay, here it goes. So it comes together. Watch this little spot right here. I had no idea. We were up there watching it, and all of a sudden you see it happen because I'm always close and down low. And then all of a sudden they do a shape, and it literally, you're like, what? And it kind of just totally shocked me. Or maybe that was it already. There it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. All right, Todd Carr. Yeah, so I'm just bragging about my sons here. I'm sorry about that. I know we're not talking knives. We're not talking knives. What the heck's going on here? What's going on? Well, I think it's really cool. Well, I appreciate you guys coming back out here, man, and joining the live stream. I do enjoy this part of the post giveaway where we get to talk a lot. Yeah, that's because I literally, Todd, I started it right up when I came back. I wasn't sure when I was coming back, and so as soon as I came back, I posted it for like 10 minutes out because I knew if I waited too long, I wouldn't be able to. I would probably lose that. So it was. I knew I'd do it, and if anybody shows up, great. If not, no worries. Talk knives with a few folks. Had some great guests tonight and some wonderful people be here, so I appreciate everyone. I'm always honored by that. And I love talking knives. I love talking knives with folks like this. So to me, you learn something. You always get to learn something. And then sometimes some good things happen, right? You find out about knives on the refrigerators. Super excited about that one. So there you go. Yeah, I know. YZ. It was, like I said, I literally came back. I think it was 9:50, and I created the notice. It was like for 10 o'clock, so 10 minutes out, and that was it. Yeah, thanks to Jarrett and Zach for being here tonight, and everybody else. Appreciate all of you guys being here. And YZ, that box going out to you will go out tomorrow. I was going to drop it off today. I didn't get to do it this weekend because of my go live, just so you know. I don't know if you heard, I was working like 20 hours on Saturday and Sunday, and then I had worked 14 hours Friday up till midnight. So yeah, I put about a 70-hour in work week already. So y'all have a great weekend, man. Appreciate every one of you. Thanks for everyone being here. Zach, again, I'm glad I got a chance to say hello to you here. I missed your live. I really was bummed about that, but I was just trying to keep my head above water. I was trying to breathe. Right. So, it happens, but appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you to everyone here tonight. Again, awesome. Have a great week. Have a great, I'll let you know Wednesday what happens. I usually have a knife that I bring in honor of something like that. We'll have some super exciting post, or maybe not. We'll see. But thanks again. Y'all have a good night. Bye, everyone. Come on. Why is it not going? Let's try that.